to do is the V5, the Brother V5 has just arrived in store. This is my demo model, and if you get it delivered here to me, I will actually do all of this with you. But if you happen to get it delivered to your home, this is what you'll find. It basically comes in a huge box, and inside the box, and I've already taken it out, is the machine, which looks like this, and you get a separate embroidery box as well. You'll have all of this blue tape, which you can come as close as you like, Bethany, with it, rather than seeing me. You can see the machine. Take off the blue tape in these various places here. Now open the lid with this one in a sec. So we'll just get all of this blue tape off. And this is just put on because the couriers aren't always as kind to your machines as you would like, and it's just protecting all of the bits. Now another important one, if you just lift this presser foot up here, I've got the blue tape stuck, the presser foot comes up and this will slide out. If you were transporting it, this is quite good, and there's another piece of tape which often people forget about there. Okay, so that's your first bit. Inside your big box, you'll also then have your accessory tray, and the accessory tray will have the brilliant blue tape on as well. Take that off, and this will then slide, just move it out of the way, slide onto your machine like that. Okay, so then what else have you got? If you open your accessory box, this is purely and simply, you can just throw it away if you want to, just keeps everything in place. You have your accessory feet, so you have your buttonhole foot, your G foot is your overcasting foot, your N foot is your decorative stitching foot, your R foot is your blind hem foot, you have the zipper foot here, which is the I foot, the M foot sews buttons on, and then the best bit is what we all need, the reverse stitcher. So that's in that bit. And in the back, you also just have a compartment that's empty. Then you get probably the cheapest plastic bag in the whole wide world. You tip all of this out. I'll quickly go through these with you. You have your embroidery scissors to use on your embroidery unit. They're really good. Don't let anybody else use them because they'll snip the threads right up to the point. You have a selection of screwdrivers. This is in fact a screwdriver, which is really useful for this area here. You have that smaller screwdriver. You have a cleaning brush. This is for a spare bobbin. Yes, on this machine you can wind your bobbin on independently, but if you want to put a twin needle on or you want to put a cone bobbin on, you can also add that on. This is a screwdriver which is invaluable when you come to using your embroidery hoops because it tightens the hoops up. You get spool caps. You've got a large spool cap here, which is what goes on the end of your threads. This one they've started to include is brilliant if you're using the Aurifil threads because it sits inside. Come to all the bits. You have a set of twin needles, which is just a spare twin needle, and you have some spare needles which include your universal and your embroidery needle. Pop those over there. This is a fabric punch, so there's an eyelet stitch and this will just punch a hole in your fabric. This is in most of the Brother machines. This is a mark and pencil, and this little brush on the end just gets rid of that. This is your little pokey tool, so when you want to use your machine you can just use this instead of your fingers on the screen. Spare embroidery needles in the red packet. Sorry these are not necessarily in order, but we're getting there. This is a spare plate here. It's if you want to do any cording. It's got a little hole in there, and it's what covers your bobbin. You have one on your machine. Just taking it off. So the standard one on the machine is clear. You get the one for cording, and then you get another one, which is really good if you are doing patchwork or if you're a dressmaker, because it has the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch markings on. I don't know if you can see that okay. So, but going back to spool ends, cap ends, you've got a medium one on here and you've got a small one. So in total you have one large, one small and two medium. You then have a little hairnet. If you have a thread that's sort of a little bit errant and it's going its own way, you can just cover it. You should have 2 of those in there, which I have. And then this covers the feed dogs. So if I just take the foot off by just pressing the little black button at the back, this actually sits on here and covers your feed dogs. There's a little lugs on the back of there, which is quite difficult to see, and it fits into the 2 little holes on your stitch plate there. And then you get this screw and this adapter, And the reason for this is this has got a high rise, and if you a high shank, sorry, and if you have any of the feet that you've sort of grown through the brother family, you can put this adapter on, and it'll allow the feet that fitted the low shank machines to be compatible. Brother have thought about that. So what you're not doing is having certain companies, you have to have the right feet for the right model. You don't have to with this. You get 10 spare bobbins, one's in the machine, one's here, and these clips, which are brilliant. And the clips just literally clip together and keep your bobbins. So if you want to, for example, put all your bobbin fill on one clip, you can. And you can just clip those together, which says like that. You can create a nice little pattern with those actually. Then you've got your free motion or your darning foot, which is your O foot. And then you also have your speciality bobbin case there, okay? In addition to that, you've got your foot control, you've got your plug, and you've got in your manuals, just as in here, you have a warranty card. The warranty card's just for reference, because when you've bought the machine, you've given your name and address to either me or your own dealer. That's registered with Brother, so that serial number of that machine stays with you, and the warranty is your warranty. Oops, dropping things on the floor. So in here you have a quick reference guide which has all of your embroidery and all of your stitches, all your designs, so it is much easier to look on there. You have some European blah blah blahs, I call it, which is just recycling information. This is if you want to use one of the stitches where you're creating your own stitch. You can use this sort of graph paper. You have a list of accessories, but come to either me or come to your dealer and ask for the right accessory for your machine, and they'll make sure you get it. Sorry, that's more accessories there. This is just an amendment that they've had to put into the manual, but just have a little read. It's just a very small one. And then you get your manual, which looks like a telephone directory, but it is extremely picture heavy. Very, very simple to follow. So, in addition to that, when you're unpacking your machine, you have your embroidery box. This box is quite useful unless you've got a permanent home. And just be careful as you tip it out. I usually do it on the side. Let's see if we can do this live and not make a headpiece of it. The handles are very, very neat. And I'm just going to lay it on the side and it'll all be clear wide. It's like something off the cooking factor. So in here you've got your hoops, which you have your large hoop, and then you have your smaller hoop. I'm just taking that out just to protect it so it don't fall out. And then you have your polystyrene, okay? In here will be your bobbin fill, so they give you a bobbin fill. You can still get those from your brother dealers or just contact ourselves at the Fat Quarters. And then here you have for the V5, you have your embroidery foot. And this is purely and simply for the embroidery when you put the embroidery unit on. And then you have your lovely embroidery unit, which is here. And the embroidery unit, again, I'll just move it over here, but if you don't mind following. Has your plastic on. But I really just want to show you when you're unpacking. Can you see here? You've got this blue tape, all right? Never lift your embroidery unit up by this arm here, because you'll destroy it. So just take that off and just slide that brown out of there, and your embroidery unit's ready to go. The embroidery unit fits on by removing the accessory box and sliding it on, okay? And then the last thing you get in your box is some interfacing from Brother. Once you've used this as a fusible interfacing, then I would recommend the Vliseline H250 or your Vliseline Stitch and Tear for your sort of general. At the Fat Quarters we sell it in 10cm increments, and I think it's around about £3.50 a metre, so it's not expensive. So have a go. What I'll do is I'll follow this up with another one, and we'll just take you through the basics, but hopefully when you get your box it'll not feel as odd as it can be. It can be quite daunting when they arrive with this great big pallet box. So I hope that helps.